Hey guys, and welcome to this very first reveal of a little project that I've been on again, off again, working for I'd say the last year. It's currently unnamed, but we can call it New Unity Project 3, if you will. And what it is, it's almost a one-to-one rendition of the Fallout 2 rule set. And the final aim of it is to be somewhat of a game engine, a tool, if you will, with which people, well, more talented than me, can flesh out stories based in the Fallout universe. Now, before we begin, there's this little disclaimer that I want to throw out there. This game uses assets from Fallout New Vegas, which is a game developed by Obsidian Entertainment under license from Bethesda Softworks. I don't own the assets, those respective assets, nor do I imply that I own them. Furthermore, this project is not for profit. It is more in the lines of fan-made by a gamer for gamers. Yeah. And from my brief emails with Bethesda, yeah, they seem to be okay with it, so it should be okay. On to the actual project. Please bear in mind that everything you see here is by any means in a very early stage, but I've got a few things working and I'm pretty excited about those. So let's see what this thing can do. Let's go ahead and start it up and create a small hex grid. So this is your standard Y offset grid. I've learned that there are quite a few types of grids. This is what I always felt as standard. We can create a character, so for people familiar with the special system, this is what pretty much all the games set in the Fallout universe use, more or less. So you've got your primary attributes here, your skills, some traits that you can choose, and your derived statistics. So everything should be working according to specs. So for example, if we change our character's strength, at least one derived statistic will be affected, carrying weight. So he gains 25 points for each point in strength, and I think there are also some skills involved, like melee weapons, and I should think unarmed. So this is 46 now. If I raise it, 47. So you get half a point for each point in strength, something like that, it seems. If you choose Gifted, for example, Gifted is a really cool trait. I've always picked it when I was playing Fallout games, well, almost always. What Gifted does, it increases all your base statistics by 1 point, so that's really cool. The downside of it is that it decreases all your skills by 10%, and also the skill rate is decreased by 5%. Now you can see it only actually decreased by 3% because it is also compensated by the increase in intelligence. So each point in intelligence will increase your skill rate by 2. So if I would have gone back to the original intelligence of 5, well, that was pretty weird. I'm getting some problems with my laptop. From time to time it switches to the onboard graphics card, some crappy Intel HD graphics card. I'm gonna go ahead and keep on doing this presentation like this, but the frame rate might get choppy, so yeah, bear in mind. Okay, so whoa, really choppy. Okay, so let's just create this character. Let's give him a name. Okay, and let's make him player controlled so that he's not an NPC. Okay, I'm having some trouble, I think. Oh yeah, no messages here yet. So I also need to tag 3 of my skills. Now tagging the skills, if you are familiar with the special system, means that you select 3 skills that will grow easier when you level up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So there we go, committed the character. I can place him somewhere in the world. So this is one of the assets that I've been talking about. That is property of Bethesda and Obsidian Entertainment, I believe. It also uses animations from the Fallout New Vegas game, so that's pretty much a win-win situation. You've got the models in place, the skeleton that drives the models, and all the animations on said skeleton, and it's all working pretty nicely. This was never a project. I never wanted to do this project to build a lot of assets for it. I wanted to see if I could actually make something work, something playable. Not yet, but on the right track, I think. So we can make this guy move. I've selected him, and now I chose a destination from him, so he uses the standard A-star algorithm in this case. And once you click a hex, he'll just mosey along there, nothing spectacular so far. Another cool thing is that you can queue actions. If I hold left shift and keep on clicking certain destinations, he will follow all those waypoints. I have always liked the combat system in Fallout Tactics, and I thought that it would be cool that if at some point I implement that continuous turn-based, almost real-time fight mode, it would be cool to have the possibility to queue up actions for your characters, and also have something in the lines of an active pause, what you would have in games like Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale. So I think that was what Fallout Tactics was lacking the most. And yeah, I think that would really be cool. If he's walking normally, you can interrupt his action. So as soon as he will reach, so I tell him to go here, and then I tell him to go here. As soon as he reaches his first intermediate checkpoint, he will cancel that action and perform the new action that I have devised for him. So each intermediate checkpoint is roughly when his center of mass reaches the center of a hex, so something along those lines, with a little wiggle room, because it doesn't get it right all the time. If we go ahead and create another character, something really fast. I keep forgetting stuff. Yeah, I forgot to put in 1 point in barter. The cool thing is, when this character is dropped here, this hex is marked as unpassable. So even though I'm using A-star sorry about that, A-star algorithm to get the shortest path from A to B, all the hex costs are currently 1, so not much shortest path going on there. But also there is this unpassable hexes. And the cool thing about these unpassable hexes is that character's current path is dynamically affected when hexes become unpassable. So for example, if I want this guy to go in a straight diagonal line through here, you could assume that the shortest path would be straight, and you would be right. But the question is, what happens when this guy crosses paths with this guy? And there we go. Something interesting happened. So I told this guy to go here. This other guy that was going on a diagonal found his initial new hex to be occupied, and tried to go around him. So they're not smart, which he doesn't stand a bit to think about the direction that his counterpart is going in and try to avoid by going the other direction. It's just basic, let's try to go shortest path from the new situation, and in this case he did not choose wisely. And this other guy at one point stopped because his destination, which I think was this hex, was at some point occupied by this guy. So he actually got this little thing in the console here that the hex is unpassable, so he just stopped. He didn't know what to do. So this is pretty interesting, pretty nifty, having these guys walking around, interacting with each other. Yeah, got a problem there. I've been toying with the walk animations in the past days. I haven't gotten to iron out all the kinks in it. Basically, a few days ago the animation was static, so the animation was not actually driving the model. The model's XZ transform, and I was actually moving him each frame, inching him forward to his destination, and that worked well for me. It gave me a lot of control, so I always knew where he was. The problem was that the animation looked a little weird, because if you look at this animation, it is only when his feet touch the ground and he propels them from that point that his center of mass actually moves forward. So even though it looked okay before, there was that problem that while his feet were planted firmly into the ground, he would still go forward, and it looked a bit like he was slipping or moonwalking. You decide. So and because I'm using the animation now as a driving force for his position, I don't have that much more control over him, so I'm still doing the rotation manually, and that's part of the problem. He's a lot more loose now when transitioning from one hex to another, especially when he needs to turn 180 degrees. You see he has a lot of wiggle room now. I'm really fond of this because I don't really want the game to feel really constrained by these hexes. At some point all these bright orange lines or yellow lines will disappear, and it should really seem like an open playing field, just like in Fallout. Maybe just get the outline when you're hovering with the mouse. But yeah, there are still some things to work out. Okay, so you've seen this very basic stuff. Now on to more interesting things. What would a game be if we cannot shoot our little bold Volt guys here? So this is the inventory. For debug purposes, I have all the possible items that I could find listed on Fallout 2 websites, and they pretty much all work. They're not all tested, but they should work. They're basically the same code, only a bit altered. I think explosives don't work properly yet because they don't have any special implementation other than what the other items have. I went ahead and equipped a 10mm pistol in my left hand and selected the ammo, and then selected to load the left pistol. So UI is very rudimentary. It's mostly here to be able to test all the things out. So at some point this will get a really big overhaul with a Fallout-y look and feel, but it's not a priority now. Okay, so got all these things in place. Let's enter combat and attack. This is still a work in progress, so when you're in an attack stance and you hover over somebody, he goes in an aim like pose and then tries to float or rotate towards him and go ahead and shoot. And there we go, a hit for 8 damage. Really cool. There are a lot more things going on in the background, so there are a lot of rolls and a lot of stuff happening. I didn't get a critical, but a hit nonetheless, so that's cool. If I end turn, you remember that this guy is also player controlled, so he's going to affect our turns. I think it's still this guy's turn. Let me just check. Yep. In the Fallout sense of things, whoever initiates combat has a free turn. And now if I end turn, it should be this guy who cannot attack. And if I end turn, this guy is pissed off, so he went ahead and aimed for me and shot at me, and another hit for 8 damage. So not much randomness here, but hey, I'm not complaining. There we go. And now a hit for 4 damage. Go ahead and end turn. This guy hits me again for 6 damage, so hits me again for 7 damage, 5 damage, so it's a bit weird. And the last 10 or so playthroughs, I don't know if here we go, they're starting to miss. So if you know if you've played the Fallout games, especially 1 through Tactics, you would know that you would miss a whole lot, even with 95% chance and burst fire. So speaking of burst fire, from what I know, it should be implemented, so bear with me. Let's just find a basic, I don't know, 10mm submachine gun. If only I could find this. So a lot of the things I've presented today were a bit rehearsed, because I've been trying to do this for quite some time, this presentation, but I've been hitting a lot of bugs, stuff that I thought were working. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so I've equipped the 10mm submachine gun, and I've cycled the equipped item and cycled the attack mode. For some reason I remember having some labels here, but I don't know. So I should be right hand now, and the cycled attack mode, I hope, is burst fire. So let's see what happens. Ooh, it actually worked. So burst fire in a submachine gun, I think, fires a total of 10 rounds at 80% hit chance, or 84%. 8 shots connected out of 10, so yeah, it's pretty standard, nothing fancy happened here. And I did a total damage of 60, and I don't know if it actually logs all the, yeah, so this guy will log all the individual hits. So in a burst fire scenario, what I'm doing is, if you fire 10 rounds, it acts like you're firing 10 single shots. So each one is rolled individually, and so forth. It's not firing in a cone yet, so they either hit somebody, and they either hit your target or they miss. In Fallout, they have a chance, if they miss the initial target, they have a chance to hit somebody else. They have a big chance, actually, if there's somebody in the cone of fire, they have a big chance to hit somebody. So that still needs to be implemented. And here we go, some placeholder assets. I was too lazy even to take existing assets from Fallout New Vegas. So this is basically a container. If we click it, we get the inventory of our deceased fellow. So in the spirit of picking stuff up from the ground of Fallout and Fallout 2, no take all button, just click away. And if you leave a container empty, or this volatile type of container empty, it will disappear when you empty it out. So in a grand scale of things, this is it. This is what I have. I really hope that in the coming year I will have a lot more time and passion to implement a lot of the stuff that I want to see in this game. So basically I will be really happy when I will have a full working Arroyo map. So that's the target, so have something in the lines of Arroyo with all the quests and all the dialogues and all the whatever inside. So that would be really cool, especially asset wise, to have all the levels in and the good graphics and whatnot. So that would be cool to see if it happens in 2014. I'm gonna leave you with this little feature that I've been working on yesterday. So it's not a great thing, and I'm having some really big problems with Unity's timescale and my new animations, but it's basically a way to wait for 10 minutes, and it's not instant. When you click this, the timescale will go up 100 times, or at least it should, and also the animations should scale up 100 times. So that would be really cool to see, but it might get really bugged. So yeah, I warn you. So I'm gonna click it. You see the timescale going really up, and then this guy, you see he did a little moonwalking. So he was, even though he was facing the right direction, he was going backwards. There are some weird things that are happening that I don't yet know how to solve. When the timescale goes back to 1, to normal time, everything goes back to normal. So yeah, it's a thought. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked what you see, and hope that you'll be seeing more of me soon. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.